In the year 2011, before what I call my Calvary diabolic obsession, demon possession, which I captured in a book testimony. Something so incredible happened to me that I have the obligation and duty to share it. This is a revelation God gave me, and now I understand it was to prepare me for what would come next in my life. But I also understand that by sharing it, I will help many people, either by directing them to God's path, redirecting them to God's path, or keeping them on God's path. What I will share below is not a lie or a fabrication. May God punish me if I lie or fabricate this revelation and testimony. This revelation of mine is very short, but sufficient for me to get closer to God. This revelation of mine is very short, but enough for you so that you begin to believe or are redirected to believe or continue believing in God. Sadly, there are many of us who don't believe in the existence of hell, from skeptics to even believers in God. They think that demons don't exist, nor that hell exists. But let me tell you and affirm it is true, and they do exist. In my personal life, I have had demons inside me since 2011, but currently I feel blessed because I was able to overcome them. I repeat, it's captured in my book testimony, and I'll leave the link in the description of this video so you can read it. Without further ado, I'll share my revelation, my testimony that hell does exist. One peaceful and silent night, which began like any other night. After a busy day at work, my family and I got ready for bed. At the beginning of that night, nothing was different from other nights, and nothing extraordinary happened during the day. It was simply a peaceful, silent, and dark night. While I was in my bed, I knew I was conscious, that my consciousness was awake while my body was resting and sleeping. After feeling that I was in my body with consciousness awake, but my body asleep, I then began to feel myself falling. My body was on its back, stable and motionless in my bed, but without a doubt, my soul was simply falling. That feeling of falling was very impressive because I knew I was falling down with my body not moving, but incredibly, I felt like I was falling. I just fell and fell for a very long time. That feeling of knowing that my soul was falling, but at the same time knowing my body was stable was so incredible that I just wanted to keep feeling that feeling of falling because I never felt it before because it wasn't a regular feeling of every night. I didn't want to move or stop the fall. I just wanted to keep feeling that unique sensation. I can be sure that many minutes passed feeling the same feeling of falling until suddenly, out of a peaceful and quiet night, everything changed. I began to hear as if I were in a very gigantic and spacious place with echoes everywhere. That sound was as if I were in a giant cavern underground. In the distance, I heard an echo, as if that echo came from many intermingled voices. The sensation of falling was irrelevant at that moment, because this change in sound was more striking. I continued falling and listening to this new sound. Suddenly, that echoing sound of distant voices mingling together grew closer and closer, and in a matter of seconds, more noticeable at the same time. It was then that I reached a point where that distant sound became so close. Let me tell you once again that I'm not lying or making things up, and may God rebuke me if I were. But that sound was screamings of terror, screamings of horror, screamings of despair, screamings of terror. Those screamings scared me so much, but so much that I woke up, opened my eyes, and looked around in fear. I saw that it was still night and that everyone was still asleep, so I went back to bed, still afraid. And then I knew it was a message, a revelation from God that allowed him to me to live. Please let me tell you that hell was created by God for the fallen angels who rebelled against God. But it is also known that God allows us, as human beings, to also have the same hell as our final destiny, only if we turn away from him and follow paths that contradict God's laws. I will end this video by asking you not to stray from God, that you begin or redirect yourself or remain on God's right paths. For the end we will have, and that may correspond to be ours, will be for eternity. God bless us.